The cigar pisses people off. I don't know why, but it does. So I keep doing it. Actually, that's not the primary reason I do it. It's a good, strong secondary reason I light up a cigar and smoke while I do these videos. But the primary reason is I like to smoke cigars. They're big, nice flavor, very yummy. But a close second is that, hey, smoke your cigar, you look like you're getting cocky. Yeah, kind of. If you're that weak, this bothers you. Well, yeah, if it's that easy to make you angry, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Today, great news. We have a new thing. Boris the Shitting Buffalo. Now, some of you know the story behind this, and some of you don't. But if you look up Russian ballet dancer on the Cappy Cap search thing, you'll get the story. But in short, I was dating a gal who was a Russian ballet dancer. And no, I don't make this up. You can believe me or not. She was a Russian ballet dancer. And yeah, the stereotypical, what you would think, hot, tight, everything. We dated a little bit. And she didn't have a problem with the English language. Let me put it that way. She was very conversant, very fluent in English. The only word she had a problem with was the word shit. She didn't know, and it was confusing. You could see why, because we've grown up with the vernacular to understand all the uses and variety of uses of the word shit. But, it's a verb, it's a noun, all this other stuff. And so she didn't know, one, when to use it, and then two, when people used it, she was confused. So I wrote a book. Now this one, I wrote the words for it, Boris the Shitting Buffalo. And you can see he is from Russia, because he's a Russian buffalo. And then Boris would have these adventures, particularly in South Dakota. And through these adventures, we would use all the variations and tenses of the word shit, including the past tense, my favorite words in the English language, I'm not joking, shat, which is, I like that. So I was going to give it to her, but long story short, she became Americanized and started flaking out, standing people up, blah, blah, blah. So I had this hand-drawn, it wasn't drawn as well as that, book, and let me ask you, ladies, how many hand-drawn books have men ever made you? That's what I thought. And I was gonna give it to her, but since she stood us up at her birthday party, the hell with it, so I didn't give it to her. So finally, got off my lazy ass, and I wanted to turn it into a book. Now, my problem is I can't draw. However, Jorge Gonzalez can. And some of you may remember Jorge. He is that 23-year-old Colombian art student down in Colombia, obviously. And we did a podcast series, I guess you could say, Confessions of a Worthless Degreed Person. And the story can be about the Russian girl ballet dancer and the cuteness of Boris the Buffalo, but let me really tell you why you might want to consider buying Boris the Shitting Buffalo. The real reason is Jorge. Without going into too much detail, and I hope I don't betray any of his privacy, and I don't think I will, you have to understand what kind of a caliber and what kind of a strong individual, what strong character Jorge has. Now, he's only 23. He is from a well-to-do family. We'll just leave it at that. And he doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to. Okay? Now, on top of that, he went to an art school, which was heavily socialist indoctrinated, like the world owes you a living, blah, 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 draw you, society owes you, they should pay for your art, no art is bad art, whatever else. The entire entitlement scheme. He went from that, believing in that socialist stuff. Hang on. Nah, I'm not gonna, we'll just let it. Tornado warnings, what do we care? He went from believing in that to, on his own, without any influence from anybody else, starting to question it because he had intellectual honesty. He was honest with himself. He caught a lot of flack, if you listen to the podcast, from professors, students, girls, for daring to not even be conservative, just question some basic things. And then this sent him down the path of saying, wow, I want to become independent. Well, how does this work? What if everyone had this attitude? Well, then society would collapse. So now get this. He contacts me he read my book. He wanted to do this series in this seminar. And he, in addition to the book, wanted, okay, how do I achieve independence? Now this man, who doesn't have to, he said if he wants to be, has decided that he wants to be an independent man. He wants to truly support himself. He isn't so much refusing the parental support, if you get free money, take it, but he wants to work on his own, to the extent more than willing to work at McDonald's, wanted to crash on a buddy's couch and pay rent for the couch. Right? This is the type of quality and caliber that makes for a true man. And if every man was like this, and had that intellectual honesty, and that tenacity and desire to suffer, to truly become an independent person and support oneself, society would have practically no problems. We would have problems. Would it be, do I have sprinkles on my chocolate ice cream, or do I have chocolate syrup on my vanilla ice cream? I mean, those would be our problems. So I used my influence, quote-unquote influence, because I said, well, look, I got peanut butter, you got chocolate, look, we mix it together, and look what happens. You get Boris the Shitting Buffalo. So I said, look, I got this poem, essentially, because my drawing, again, was crap. Do you think you could illustrate it? And he did. And I tell you guys, you can see the quality. Jorge isn't some crap art student who can't draw for shit and needs mommy and daddy to practically bribe the local art gallery to display his art. He's good. I don't want to show you too much, but let me show you probably one of my favorite. And you could just see the attitude he's got as well. A good attitude, not cocky attitude. Where'd it go? How do you not like that? I mean, look at that. How cool. Not to say there's any likeness to me and Boris, but it's really cute. Now, you can get it on Amazon, of course. It's available in Kindle and paperback. I think it's $14, and the reason it's so pricey, I understand. $14. It's all in color. That's the thing. So when you print stuff in color, it does go up, even though it's only like 40 pages. It certainly is not for kids, but it's not crass either. It's not. There's no sexual content, right? It's just a cute story about a buffalo who likes to poo, and who doesn't love buffaloes, and who doesn't like to take a good poo every once in a while? So do yourself a favor. You'll find it very funny, especially if your family has that kind of sophomoric humor, which pretty much my half of the family does, or one half of my family. But the other half was all strict Lutheran pastors. No fun. You're going to burn in hell. The other ones were drinking and cracking fart jokes all the time. So if you like that type of humor, this is definitely for you. Make a nice little coffee table book for you. And and you know what? It's going to help out that truly independent guy, Jorge. So, reward, I'm not trying to bribe you into it, but if you feel, if there's a reason to buy it, is to reward the entrepreneurialism and the independent-minded spirit that all men should have. That's all I got. Toodles.